Why do we act the way we do? What drives our decisions and actions in the complex web of human society? Why do we choose right over wrong? Is it a conscious decision or an instinctive reaction? This question has puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries. From ancient texts to modern research, the quest to understand morality continues. Is it an inherent sense of justice that guides us? A deep-seated understanding of right and wrong? Or is it merely fear of punishment that keeps us in line? The dread of consequences that curbs our actions? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between, shaped by both our nature and our environment. Our upbringing, culture, and personal experiences all play a role. We live in a society bound by rules. Laws and regulations are designed to maintain order and protect us. From a young age, we are taught to be honest, kind, and fair. These lessons are instilled in us by our families, schools, and communities. But are these values truly ingrained within us? Do they become a part of our identity, or are they just surface-level behaviors? Or do they only surface when it's convenient, when someone is watching? How genuine is our moral compass? These are not just philosophical ponderings, but questions with real-world implications. They affect our laws, our policies, and our daily interactions. Understanding what motivates moral behavior is crucial for building a just and equitable society. It helps us create environments where ethical behavior is encouraged and rewarded. If we can comprehend the forces that drive our ethical choices, we can create systems that nurture and reinforce these values. This understanding is key to fostering a world where justice and fairness prevail. In Plato's Republic, the question of morality takes center stage. Glaucon, a student of Socrates, presents a compelling thought experiment, the story of the Ring of Gyges. This mythical ring grants its wearer invisibility, freeing them from the consequences of their actions. Glaucon argues that, if given such power, even the most just person would succumb to temptation. Free from societal judgment and repercussions, they would act in their own self-interest, even if it meant causing harm to others. This thought experiment forces us to confront a difficult truth. Does morality simply boil down to a fear of punishment? If the threat of being caught is removed, do our ethical principles vanish into thin air? Socrates, however, refutes this cynical view. He argues that justice is not merely a social construct, but an intrinsic good. A just person, he claims, experiences a kind of inner harmony, a sense of peace that comes from living in alignment with their values. This inner peace, Socrates argues, is far more valuable than any external reward or pleasure that could be gained through unjust actions. True happiness, he suggests, stems from living a virtuous life, even when faced with adversity. Socrates' view presents a more optimistic outlook on human nature. It suggests that we are capable of acting morally, not just out of fear or self-interest, but because it is inherently the right thing to do. Centuries later, psychologist C. Daniel Batson decided to put these philosophical ideas to the test. In a series of ingenious experiments, he explored the hidden motives behind our seemingly altruistic behavior. In one study, participants were given the opportunity to assign themselves or another person a desirable task. Overwhelmingly, they chose the positive task for themselves, even when a coin toss was supposed to decide. This self-serving bias persisted even when the coin was clearly marked. These findings suggest that we are often driven by a desire to appear moral, even if our actions are not truly motivated by altruism. We crave the social approval that comes with being seen as a good person, even if it means acting hypocritically. Section 5, Converging Ideas, Plato and Batson on the nature of morality. Despite the temporal distance, Plato's philosophical musings and Batson's empirical studies converge on a fascinating point: the tension between our innate desire to do good and the allure of self-interest. Both acknowledge the human capacity for both virtue and vice. Plato's Ring of Gyges highlights the potential for moral corruption when freed from societal constraints. Batson's experiments, on the other hand, demonstrate how even seemingly insignificant acts of kindness can be tainted by self-serving motives. Both thinkers, in their own way, challenge us to look beyond superficial appearances and examine the true drivers of our behavior. They urge us to cultivate genuine morality, not for the sake of external validation, but for the inherent satisfaction it brings. Section 6. The power of observation. A watchful eye promotes ethical conduct. Interestingly, Batson's research also reveals a glimmer of hope. In one experiment, he found that the mere presence of a mirror significantly increased fair behavior among participants. This suggests that even self-awareness, the act of observing our own actions, can nudge us towards ethical conduct. This finding underscores the powerful influence of observation on our behavior. When we know we are being watched, whether by others or even ourselves, we are more likely to act in accordance with societal norms and expectations. This insight has profound implications for shaping moral behavior. It suggests that fostering a sense of accountability, even through subtle cues like mirrors or cameras, can encourage ethical decision-making. Section 7. Building a more ethical society, the role of accountability and transparency. The implications of these findings extend far beyond individual behavior, reaching into the very fabric of our society. When we talk about accountability and transparency, we are addressing the core principles that uphold trust and integrity in our communities. These principles are not just abstract concepts. They are practical tools that can be implemented in various sectors, from government to business and even in our personal lives. If we aim to create a world where ethical conduct is the norm rather than the exception, we must design systems that promote transparency and accountability. This involves not only setting clear guidelines and standards, but also ensuring that these are consistently followed and enforced. Technology can play a significant role here, offering new ways to monitor and report on activities in real time. This means creating institutions that operate with openness and integrity, where wrongdoing is swiftly addressed and ethical behavior is rewarded. In such environments, employees and citizens alike feel more empowered to speak up and take action when they witness unethical practices. This collective vigilance helps to maintain a high standard of conduct across the board. It also means fostering a culture of personal responsibility, where individuals are encouraged to hold themselves and others accountable for their actions. Mentorship and education can be powerful tools in this regard, helping to instill these values from a young age and reinforcing them throughout one's career. Transparency, coupled with a robust system of accountability, can create a powerful deterrent against unethical behavior. Regular audits and reviews ensure that standards are being met and provide opportunities for continuous improvement. This proactive approach helps to identify and address issues before they escalate. It ensures that actions have consequences and that individuals are held responsible for the choices they make. By embedding these principles into the very fabric of our institutions and daily lives, we can build a more ethical and just society for all. Section 8. Nurturing moral growth, cultivating intrinsic motivation. While external factors like accountability and transparency are crucial, fostering genuine morality ultimately depends on nurturing intrinsic motivation. This involves cultivating a genuine understanding of and appreciation for ethical values. Education plays a vital role in this process. By exposing individuals to diverse perspectives and ethical dilemmas, we can help them develop critical thinking skills and a nuanced understanding of right and wrong. We must encourage empathy, compassion, and a sense of social responsibility from a young age. By nurturing intrinsic motivation, we create a society where individuals act morally, not because they have to, but because they genuinely want to. This, in turn, creates a more just, compassionate, and harmonious world for all. Section 9. Conclusion. A quest for genuine morality. The question of why we act morally is complex, with no easy answers. It delves into the very essence of human nature and our societal constructs. As we've explored, both ancient wisdom and modern science offer valuable insights. Philosophers from centuries past and contemporary researchers alike have grappled with these questions. The Ring of Gyges reminds us of the seductive power of self-interest, illustrating how easily one can be swayed when consequences are removed. While Batson's experiments highlight our innate desire to appear moral, suggesting that our actions are often driven by how we wish to be perceived by others, even if our motives are not entirely pure. This duality in human behavior is a central theme in understanding morality. The key takeaway is this: Building a truly ethical society requires a multifaceted approach. It's not enough to rely solely on laws or social norms. We must create systems that promote transparency and accountability, ensuring that ethical behavior is rewarded and unethical actions are discouraged, while simultaneously fostering intrinsic motivation and a genuine appreciation for ethical values. Education plays a crucial role in this, starting from a young age. By embracing both external and internal drivers of moral behavior, we can cultivate a culture where ethics are deeply rooted in our daily lives. We can create a world where ethical conduct is not a matter of convenience, but a fundamental part of our identity and community, but a deeply ingrained aspect of who we are. Together, we can strive for a society where genuine morality is the norm, not the exception. Share your comments below to support future growth for our channel. Your feedback helps us continue exploring these important topics.